Recording is on.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Asian Financial Forum. I am Tiffany Johnston, Chief of Staff. We're at BlockCerts Blockchain. We have two very dynamic guest speakers here with us today. Dr. Bindu Nair, she is the founder and Chief Executive Officer of Beyond Pink World. Good morning to you, Dr. Nair. Very excited to have you here with us this morning, and good afternoon, good evening to everyone that's out there, wherever you are.
Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Daniele. Pleasure to be here with you today, and thanks for this wonderful opportunity.
Okay, great. And then we have Daniele Menzi. He is the president of FusionSTX. Good morning to you, Daniele.
So good morning, Tiffany. Good evening, Bindu, and good afternoon from me because I'm in Italy right now. So we're streaming from a very different place of the world, being US, India, and Europe, actually, in Central Europe. So, but I think streaming it's fine. It seems to be, we all seem to be in the same place, even though we are on the opposite side of the world. So very happy to be here, and so excited to talk about this project.
Thank you, Daniele. Definitely, I would love to basically talk to you about Beyond Pink and its journey so far. Beyond Pink is a live project. It's not essentially a very startup. We have founded it in 2017. The concept just came because of my passion and interest for diversity and inclusion. Before I briefly tell you the story of Beyond Pink, I would like to very briefly mention my background. I'm a management professional, and my focal area is HR. For the last 25 odd years, I had been working both as an employee and as a consultant in different kind of industries. I should also mention to you that I'm also a keen researcher, and my area of research is diversity and inclusion. When I wanted to start something, I wanted to actually start something that would add a lot of value to women. When we founded Beyond Pink was founded basically to bridge the information gap between men and women. According to data and studies, women are far less informed than men. So if we are talking about women diversity, their inclusion and their economic participation, their political involvement, then it's very important that we also look at bridging this information gap. There are many reasons why this information gap exists, and one being it's a very male-dominant industry. We have actually designed the product in such a way that women can read short news and content. We would focus a lot on curation so that we can also bring news-making women into it. We would also carry content that would basically be a matter of interest for any women who read it. This was basically the kind of structure we have given to Beyond Pink app. We have also started a web platform which is called Beyond Pink World. We have in fact started Beyond Pink World to support Beyond Pink app. In Beyond Pink World, we could actually carry news and content that we would like to, that would give us the freedom to, publish the kind of stories that we would like to publish. From where also we can take this short news, bring in, this information into this app. App is an aggregator platform. We choose information from across platforms. And we also give the publishers their due credit by giving a link so that the reader, if they want to read the whole story, can go back to the publisher's site and read the whole story. This was primarily what we have begun with in 2017, 2018. In 2018, we launched the product, and in 2017, it was more about giving it a beta. However, right now, Beyond Pink app has undergone, or rather is in the process of undergoing, a massive transformation. that would basically be impacting women from a very, very powerful angles. We are in the current structure, in the current, according to the current strategy, we are going to focus primarily on four elements, basically to give a lot of power to women. One is their safety and health. And the second is a community, which is like a sisterhood, wherein they could discuss anything and everything that is important to them. The third being growth and success, wherein we would be focusing on their business growth and also their professional and career growth. And the fourth one being the information itself, wherein we would be carrying their carrying the articles from experts whom we invite, and also the short news and content feature that is existing currently, so to say.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bindu. Very nice introduction of, explaining. First of all, there are two brands, even though they are part of the same structure, which are Beyond the Pink World, which is the news aggregator I just mentioned, which is already live, so people can go and surf and check content there, beyondpinkworld.com. And then what we're discussing right now is the Beyond Pink app, so which is a kind of a niche or targeted spin-off for what has already been kicked off years ago with beyondpinkworld.com. So, and it's very interesting to go a little bit more into detail, because along with Beyond Pink app, so Bindu and the project itself, what we're doing here is creating content to give a project, number one, exposure, and number two, since now we're streaming onto one of the biggest financial festival or forum in the world, being the Hong Kong, and after previously we were streaming in Singapore, it's very, very important, first of all, to educate the market about the existence of projects like this, which are trying to truly innovate with technology, and also with the ideas of entrepreneurs. They're risking capital, risking their time, risking their everything they do in life, because when you spend most of the time or the entire life or entire years to build something for a purpose, it's also important, first of all, to get to know what's going on there, and then understand how people can take an active step into projects like this. So obviously our role at Fusion Funder is to empower founders like Bindu to scale the project to the next level, to grow faster and bigger across boundaries and across different jurisdictions. That's definitely our mission. So that's why we like to speak very detailed. So you just make an introduction about the project to set the tone. I think what would be very, very interesting to talk about, Bindu, is to give a perspective on the traction that a project has built, and obviously what is going to happen in the coming months, at least as per your perspective.
Sure, Daniele. As I have mentioned to you, we began the journey in 2017. It was more of a concept at that point in time, and we launched the beta. And in 2018, we have launched the project. The product was available on the Google Play Store platform. And we also kind of did the first round of funding during that time. We were kind of looking at stabilizing the content and curation, because we wanted to give it a shape. We always thought there should be a personality for the content that we curate, which should be different from how it is available in other platforms. So we were basically focusing on all of that in the year 2018, and we also closed the first level of funding, as I have told you. 2019, we started marketing the product. We were predominantly depending on the digital platforms for marketing the product. Our traction was growing. We had a reasonably good number of downloads happening. By 2019, we had around 50K downloads, and we also started generating some revenue. Primarily, our focus was advertisements. We began advertising, and we began connecting with product owners for promoting their products and services through our platforms, and we were slowly generating the revenue. 2019, this was primarily the situation. 2020, in the meantime, we also tied up and partnered with a few organizations, primarily to say there are a couple of regional channels, TV channels we tied up with, and some FM stations we have tied up with, and we started doing some events basically to generate and promote this product. Events will basically be focusing on certain themes, but fundamentally we also wanted the brand to be a brand name and the brand to be established. This was being very helpful. 2020 March, we did the International Women's Day event, which was very well received. We had around 1,500 participants in general. But then in 2020, as we all know, we also had an uninvited guest, which is COVID-19. And many of our plans really got stalled because of COVID-19. We had, in fact, major plans with regard to events. We were planning large events, 2-3 of them in 2020, but then none of that really happened because of the situation. In 2020, we also kind of given a larger, deeper thought around the product. We wanted to bring in more engaging features for the product. We were actually looking at the market, looking at various elements of what women would really need, and then came out with a strategy. We talked to at least around 200 women and women's group to find out what they really wanted, what is the addition they would require in Beyond Pink. We have done a research around what are the kind of apps available for women. We also looked at how millennials and Gen Z women are changing with regard to their spending pattern, and how much financial freedom they have, and how are they're going to spend the money, and so on and so forth. So based on all of this, we have decided basically to give Beyond Pink an entirely different strategical transformation. And it's based on the strategical transformation that the product development is happening currently. So in 2021, we would definitely be focusing quite a bit on this product transformation. This would actually mean that we are coming out with a safety feature, a safety tool, health tracking tools. We would be coming out with mental health tracking tools, period tracking tools, gynec and reproductive health tracking tools, and generic health tracking tools. So this would be the package in health tracking and safety tracking tools. Apart from this, we also would be having the information as a key feature. We would be inviting a pool of experts, and it would be these experts who would be writing with regard to their area of expertise. So it would not be that a blogger will sit and write looking at any of the internet content. Instead, we want a pool of experts to come in. If it is about a gynec issue, it would be a gynecologist who would be writing about it. If it is about education, it would be an educationist who would be writing about it. So these experts will have content written. And the current feature of news aggregation will also be continuing. Similarly, we will also be developing a community feature. A community feature will have pre-created chat rooms and discussion rooms. It would not be that the chat rooms and discussions room will be created by the user. No, it will be pre-created by Beyond Pink for meaningful discussions. For example, there could be chat rooms for to discuss maybe teen periods, glass ceiling, body shaming, whatever, multiple chat rooms pre-created wherein users could come, be a part of it. They can post their content there. They can start a discussion. They can interact, comment, and like others' posts or discussions. So this is what the chat room will be facilitating. And we also will be having endorsement features wherein people could ask questions and others could actually endorse, sell products or services. This is all will be solving a lot of everyday problem for women, but from a higher degree order. Similarly, we also will be a feature that would support education. I would say career, not education, career, and also business growth. Today, if you look at 80% or 85% of world's wealth is being managed by men. Even when we are talking about diversity and inclusion, a long way for us to travel, and that is what exactly that is the area where the Beyond Pink app would like to play. While we have several apps available for women, if you look at what are they really contributing, most of them are still focusing on cookery, what do you call hobbies, relationships, and the normal things which women are anyway doing. So as I have told you, it is very important for women to embrace careers which are not yet being accessed by them adequately. For example, STEM. The future is all around STEM. We have very little women who are doing real STEM jobs. So the career focus of Beyond Pink app would be basically to bring more women into those career options which are not yet being tapped by women, where women are represented very low. For example, what if a woman wants to be a pilot? So we will offer them a complete solution, starting from information about how they should begin. And also will be providing them the competence tests, skill advices, and live recorded videos that are, that are done by pilots themselves, especially women pilots. So this is how we would be looking at each of those career and adding value. Similarly, we also will be having a business support feature wherein we would encourage women to come and nurture and grow their business. So there could be mentors to mentor them. There could be possibilities for them to access resources, so on and so forth. So this is how Beyond Pink is going to be in the days to come or in the months to come.
Yeah, it's very interesting because the core mission is to fill a gap. And the gap, it's pretty big, actually. So you have a pretty packed roadmap to fill it and to build traction and to grow your traction over time. So that's really impressive because, it's very broad. And but when something is getting big, at the end of the day, you have a very clear plan on how to attack it, which is very practical. You have mentioned before the 4 pillars you're focusing on and how you do it. So that's very clear. What is your road to market and how you tackle this gap, actually. I would be interested to ask you whether COVID here has somehow contributed to accelerate kind of a digital gap, say like this, going the direction to consume even more content and then helping you to grow faster.
You're asking about the contribution of COVID, right?
Yeah. If COVID changed in a way, and I think anything that is digital might have had a positive impact out of it. But I think it is interesting to provide a perspective if you have noticed something out of it.
Very much, I should say, very much. Because we would have slowed down, or rather we would have delayed this process if there wasn't COVID. Because year 2020, we would have spent mostly on events. It's not because we want to take our focus from the app. We are always app first platform. Anything else we do is basically to speed the app, the growth of app. But since the events were successful, we were actually planning many more of them. But when the COVID happened, we just we just understood that events are not going to really happen, and then it was really important to come back to the basics and to look at what exactly is the situation. That has given us also the space to understand and study what is going on. And also given us the space to interact with people, because people were also available and they were also spending time with their mobile phones. So this has definitely helped us speed the process, as you rightly assumed. That is how we have spent considerable time to really understand and study and compare and come out with this strategy. That would definitely be taking Beyond Ping app certainly to the next level of quicker growth, we presume.
Yeah, very much agree with that. And I think also having the possibility to stream into events like this, while previously actually people were forced somehow to travel, taking a plane and then traveling for 1 day and the other day coming back, plus few days being in a meeting, which is obviously, we are social animals, which is always good to meet with people. But I think these are what happens right now. It's kind of re-educating the way we do business. And for every digital business like yours, it might even accelerate quicker and much quicker than what could have happened if we had somehow if we hadn't experienced what COVID has done. But we cannot really know what could have happened. But I think we have to take this. 2021 is definitely an interesting years from all standpoint, and digital business like ours should take the most out of it. And then, hopefully, we hope COVID will end soon. But at the same time, we need to get anything possible here in events like this one, or into any virtual digital interactions and engagements we're having, to help our projects growing even further. So very, very interesting. My next question, if we want to call it, is so you have introduced the project, you have explained the product. So how the product is, what are the key features? Because the key features match the purpose of the journey, the purpose of the project. So you have explained the traction that you have built with 50,000 plus downloads on 2020. You have explained the milestones that you have in front. Would be interesting to give a flavor about your marketing plan. So in terms of, should not be detailed, but at least to give a perspective on your acquisition strategy, because at the end, all business has a purpose, which is not necessarily to make money, but at least to be successful and to deliver the core promise of the project. So if you want to break down in pieces, how would you summarize your marketing strategy or your acquisition strategy?
Certainly, Daniele. The Beyond Ping's primary focus is going to be Indian market. As you know, India is a very young country.
It is.
Absolutely. 1/3 of every Indian is below the age of 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. And half of them are women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are, quite much adequate right now to focus on. So we would actually be focusing on the India market first. Our focus group is women of 14 years to 45 years who are primarily living in urban, semi-urban, and metropolitan cities of India. And our precise focus would be around, say, 200 to 250 million women, so to say. They are, if you look at, most of them are millennials and Gen Z, and they are either internet native or digital native. So they are very comfortable with the handphones, the mobile phones, and the life around it. So we are going to definitely be looking at those platforms as one of our key acquisition platforms. So digital marketing and social media marketing is going to be definitely one of the key medium through which we are going to have user acquisitions. But that is not the only plan. We have multiple plans. One, as I have told you, we have very successfully built a partnership with some of these very successful media giants of this region. They are doing exceptionally well, and we are doing co-productions with them. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so we have 3 productions now in the pipeline. The first one will be launched in February. Uh, these programs, I will just give a flavor of these 3 programs. They all are very much in alignment with what we want to do to the society and to the people and women at large in a nutshell. The first program we are going to launch is basically about giving a platform to younger girls below the age of 12 years to showcase their talent in anything other than singing, dancing, and acting. Because women, especially girls, are, when you're talking about a smart girl, it's not about her brain or intelligence that matters, or their other capabilities that matters. It's always about singing, dancing, and some performance. Especially in India, those flavors are pretty much high. So we are giving these young girls a platform to showcase their ability. For example, say we have got girls who are doing horse riding, who are doing various martial arts like karate, kalari, kung fu, or whatsoever. We have girls who are doing experiments and scientific experiments. We have girls who are doing mental math and Rubik cubes and all of abacus and all of that. So this is about showcasing. It's like America Got Talent kind of a program. It's not exactly that, but something that has got a flavor of that, but then focusing on young girls, but no singing, dancing, or acting. So it's about bringing them up, recognizing that there can be focus on all of these talents, which would basically give them more power. There are so many studies which says that the exposure when you are young basically gives you the kind of ambition of what do you want to become in future, and explore various possibilities. So this is one of the programs we have. We are starting. We are airing it from February, and
Okay.
the other one is about a reality show that is having a focus on women entrepreneurs, which is again about showcasing that women of all sorts can start their own startups and grow. And we will also be planning some kind of, they are not a very large scale business, but then, small scale or a middle scale business. But then it's about giving them a platform and giving them also opportunity to grow. And the third program, we have named it as I Am Possible, which is about showcasing 12 women who have taken career routes that are not normally taken by women. For example, we are covering a fighter pilot, we are covering a rescue pilot, we are covering a wildlife photographer, we are covering a bike racer, a master chef, so on and so forth. So it's why women are not getting into these jobs. One, there is lack of familiarity. So it's very important to have mentors and make them familiar with these. And the second is that culturally, we are not training women to take risks. So these things we need to address for women to actually look at more and more career options. So these, I was talking about the predictions primarily because they are going to help us in a couple of ways. One, they're going to help us in brand building. Obviously, that will result in app downloads as well. And they're going to also give us some revenue basically to sustain. So that's the reason why we are getting into this co-productions with these successful channels. Uh, Apart from that, we also have got events in the pipeline. This year, we might only do one event, but going forward, we will be doing at least 4 major events every year. We also will partner with institutions. For example, we would like to definitely work with schools and colleges. It's about addressing them young and helping them start early. Today, most parents are worried about their young spending time on mobile app. But how about spending time on a mobile app that is going to really help them in multitude of ways. So this is why we want to catch them young. So all of this are our strategies that would help Beyond Pink in terms of growth, app installs, and traction. And at the same time, all of this is going to also contribute the core value that we want to deliver to the society, which is about empowering women from different perspectives.
That's
cool.
great.
And I think so. Since this project it's growing, and we are in a kind of entrepreneurial channel, as I said also yesterday. So it's also very important to explain that the project is in the growth phase, which is and Bindu can explain at which stage the project is, and if there's an opportunity for people to participate into the growth of the project, what this opportunity is, Bindu. Yeah, and last question, Bindu, is that since the project is in the growth stage at the pre-seed round, it would be interesting to tell a little bit more what is the ask for the project for potential stakeholders willing to participate into this opportunity.
Yes, Daniele, the project is actually in the growth phase, and at the pre-series level, the ask is $500,000 at a valuation of 3.75 million.
Cool. Yeah. So in fact, for if there's any stakeholders of a project willing to get in touch with Bindu and with the project, Tiffany, what are the best channel of interactions?
You can get in touch with us at fusionfunder.com, or you can email me directly at tiffany@blockcerts.com. If you want to, yes, so that's the best channel for if you're interested in the Beyond Pink project to get in touch with us. And I